I've started noticing that the way my mom hummed when I was a little kid and the way that she sort of like phrases melodies really influenced the way that I play.
Hi there, and welcome to the Melody Music Studios interview series, where we get to know our teachers a little bit better. I'm Ashley. Today I'm here with Charlie. Charlie, thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure.
So my first question for you is, what instruments or voice types do you teach?
Mainly guitar. And that's, steel string acoustic guitar, electric guitar. I don't play classical guitar.
Okay.
So that's just not a world that I'm a part of. But pretty much like beginner to advanced guitar, acoustic guitar or electric guitar. I teach music theory. I teach composition, artistic development. It's never come up, but I am capable of teaching production and mastering if somebody is interested in learning more about that. And then beginning piano. I can teach beginning piano as well. Again, with music theory and reading and writing. And
what age groups or levels do you primarily work with?
it's sort of been all over the place. I've been teaching for Kathy, over a decade now. I used to live in Tennessee and I currently live in New York City. So I started when I lived in Nashville. And over that period of time, it's been from, I think the youngest was age three or four, all the way up to adult.
Right.
And I'm just as comfortable with either. I also, in New York City, I play guitar for a program that's similar to Waldorf or Steiner schooling. So I work with infants. In that 6-month to 3-year-olds. So I'm very comfortable with early ages to adult.
Where are you located right now?
I am located in Astoria, in Queens, in New York City. So it's the top of the borough of Queens, sort of parallel to, I guess, like Midtown or the Upper East Side of Manhattan.
My next question for you is, do you come from a musical family?
I do. My father is a self-taught musician. He taught me how to play the guitar. And no one else in my family plays instruments, but we're all a very musical oriented family. I grew up singing, with my family in church and hearing my mom sort of like singing and humming around the house when I was a little kid.
So my next question is, what person or even event caused you to choose music as a profession or as a love?
My parents told me, and this is really interesting because I didn't start playing guitar till I was 13, and I played other instruments before that, and I'll get to that in a second. But I think they said I was around 2, maybe 3. I used to, when we would go to the beach on vacations, I used to pick up pieces of seaweed and go over to like strangers, like sitting on their towels and pretend I was playing guitar. And I don't know exactly where that came from. I can only assume that it came from seeing my dad plays guitar. So I must have seen him when I was a toddler doing it, and I was just imitating my dad. I wasn't particularly interested or good at a lot of things. And I think the reason I wasn't I wasn't into sports. I wasn't a particularly exemplary student. I did okay, but I wasn't, music was the first thing that really interested me. And because of that interest, practicing wasn't a chore. I wanted to do it. I didn't think of it as practicing. I thought of it as playing and developing.
Yes.
In the same way that something is only really a chore if you don't want to do it, but you should do it. That's a big reason why I was attracted to music, is because it was mine. It belonged to me. I wasn't being graded on it. I wasn't being judged on it. It was mine. And the way that I developed it was up to me.
So my last question for you is, what other musical endeavors are you currently working on, or you're hoping to be working on sometime in the near future?
Currently, I'm signed to a label where I'm a solo guitar recording artist. So I record, mix, and master my own records of solo guitar music and tour internationally for that. in support of the albums. And I do composer residencies where I'm invited by foundations to go, again, internationally in the US and usually in Europe, to just go for a week to 2 months and compose music. I have 2 of them coming up this year, one in Louisiana and one in Scotland, where I'll be writing music for my next album. And I always bring my recording setup so I can make the album wherever I am. I use a very portable recording setup for that reason. So I do that for composing my own music. I'm an artist endorser for Callings Guitars, which is a guitar maker in Texas. So I film guitar videos for them for their YouTube channel. And also an endorser for Labella Strings, which is the oldest string maker in the world. They started in the 1600s. And in addition to that, I'm a mastering engineer. So I work with producers and other artists to sort of do the final step in producing an album and make sure all the songs are level and EQ'd correctly. And I'm also a session musician is my main line of work. So I record on other artists and producers' albums and also back them up live as a support musician. So it's sort of a combination of all of those things. I
was going to say, so what I'm hearing you say is you're busy.
Yeah.
You're really in the world of music for sure.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, I honestly thank you so much for being here with us today. I'm sure, everyone who watched this today loved your answers and loved getting to know you a little bit better, and loved that passion that it sounds like you bring into the learning space, which is really, really great. Well, Charlie, thank you so much again. And thank you to anyone who's watching right now. And we're all set for today. So we're going to sign off and say goodbye. Thanks so much.
Thanks so much. Bye.